Good morning. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? Why don't we talk about some inventory? So one thing I'm going to tell you for a tip for your resale business. And if you don't know, my name is Amy. I sell on eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace once in a while, OfferUp. I've been a reseller over 2 years, mostly on eBay. And I sell pretty much mostly anything. I dabble in a little of this and a little of that. But today I wanted to talk to you on my way to work about inventory. And something I learned that took me a little while is that you definitely want to have some kind of inventory system. Because the worst feeling, one of the worst feelings, for being a reseller and selling something is not being able to find it. Yeah, it happens, trust me. It happens to the best of us. So you definitely want to have some kind of system. You either want to start it off in a notebook or on a spreadsheet or notepad on the computer or on your phone. Something that tells you locations. Something that I started off doing was putting it in a notebook. And I had help with that, which was great. My husband helped me. The only problem is how he would list something in the notebook and the location where it was at. When I would go look in that notebook to find it, I couldn't always determine what he was calling the item for whatever reason. And sometimes that would give me stress of trying to figure out what the heck the items were and if they were in the notebook. So if you're going to use the notebook system, if you like paper and pen, then make sure that your listing on there is completely clear. I would suggest that you put your cost of good for the item, because you're going to want to know that later on. I would suggest that you put what platforms you put it on. So if you put it on multiple platforms and you cross-listed or cross-posted, that you put, if you're doing it on eBay and you know that you put it on Poshmark and Mercari, then you're going to put a P for Poshmark and an M for Mercari. Sorry about the lighting if it's bad. I'm driving towards the sun, and so it's a little bright at points. But you're going to put that on there so that way you know that if it sells on eBay, you need to go take it off of Poshmark and Mercari. There are a lot of cross-posted apps out there. I have tried 2 of them. One was List Perfectly, and one is Vendoo. And they both have their goods and bads, just like anything else. I have found that List Perfectly was a little bit more pricey. It came with a lot of marketplaces that I didn't really participate in, and that if I wanted something that was the most value, I had to pay the higher price. So I did start trying out Vendoo, and so far I'm liking Vendoo. It's only my possibly second month, maybe. I want to say it's the second month. I did the one where I get, I think it's 125 listings. So I'm able to import very easily from eBay and then list them also on other platforms like Mercari and Poshmark. find it personally to be a little bit less, I don't know what the word is, time consuming, I guess. With List Perfectly, it would open up a completely another tab. And with Vindu, it opens it up within Vindu, and then it just has me adjust whatever specific information that whatever platform wants on it. I can hold inventory in Vindu. I actually pay an additional amount to have all three things from Vindu. One of them is to be able to cross-post to other platforms. One of them is delisting and relisting, which is great for refreshing your listings when you need to do so. And I can't remember the other one. I'll have to get back to you on that one. But I have found that the value so far with Vindu and how much I'm paying for it, which is still less than what I was paying with List Perfectly, for what I'm doing and how I'm doing my business, it's tending to work better for me. Now, that's not to say that List Perfectly isn't a good option, because I have a lot of reseller friends that do use List Perfectly and they really like it. And that's just because everybody likes what they like. And it's like I said, it's not that I didn't like List Perfectly, it's just I felt it was more time consuming, if that makes sense. So I basically have it to where I can put and import in 125 items a month on my Vindu account. And as long as I put those at least in drafts, 125, and I use all of them, 125, the next month I get another 125 to add to it. So now where I started off at 125, now I'm at 250. And then every month, just like I said, it basically rolls over and gives me more. So I have found that to be a lot better than bulk editing, where I'm taking 10 items, let's say, off of eBay, and I'm putting them on Mercari and Poshmark, and it opens up 10 tabs. So if I hit eBay and I do List Perfectly, and I don't know, maybe I was doing it incorrectly or something like that, or maybe things have changed, or something, but the way I felt about it is I tried out bulk listing, which does cost more with List Perfectly. And when I did it, if I wanted to do 10 items in bulk listing, just to move it to Mercari, copy it from eBay to Mercari, I found that it would open 10 tabs, which was, I already had a bunch of tabs open. I'm constantly researching. I'm on Google. I'm on WorthPoint. By the way, great resource. It took me a long time to be able to subscribe to WorthPoint, but I have found a lot of value in WorthPoint, and I have not barely even started in WorthPoint. But just this small amount of time, which has probably been a month, that I've been doing WorthPoint as a subscription, I have found a lot of value to it. So if you don't know what WorthPoint is, it is a way to look up items, and I believe it gives you 10 years of data. 10 years of data. Yeah. So it shows you what something sold for, it shows you whether it was done on an auction on eBay or whether it was done on a buy it now. So it goes back 10 years, like I said, so you can kind of see like how much it was selling for. So if it was selling for something in 2019 and now here we are in 2021, almost towards the end of 2021. Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes you're going to find that the value has gone up on the item. And then other times you're going to find that it goes down, and that's all part of doing your research. Remember, research is key. Knowledge is power. The more you know, the better you're going to be able to do in your resale business. So, I got on a tangent now, I don't remember what I was talking about. I was talking about the cross-posting stuff. So, yeah, so you'll have to find out which one works best for you. They both have trials that you can try them out for so many days and see which one works for you. Or maybe you find that, you don't need a cross-posting, app to do stuff for you. But it does make it a lot easier when things are being able to be copied over to another platform, and then you just have to adjust it. So it makes things a little bit faster, which, we need things to be faster when we're listing, because if we can do it faster, the more we can list. But we were talking about inventory in the beginning. So I would encourage you to definitely make sure you have some kind of inventory control, so that way you know where items are when they sell. Because like I said before, it's really not a good feeling when you go to look for that item. You know that you had it, it was in the listing, but you can't find it. It hasn't happened to me a lot in my over 2 years, but it has happened, and I know other retailers that have had it happen too. And it happens when you have a pretty good amount of inventory, but if you don't start off when you don't have a lot of inventory, it's going to get out of control, and you're going to have a much harder time with it. I found that the best method that worked for me was not the notebook. No. It was actually using the custom SKU that eBay gives us, and also it is showing up on other platforms as well. I have found that putting my cost of goods, which is how much I paid for it, where it's listed at, again, whether it's P for Posh, M for Macari, E for eBay, FBM for Facebook Marketplace. I use OU, which is OfferUp. Put that into that custom SKU area is vital. It helps so much. It is so less stressing, because when you go to sell that item, it's going to show up and you're going to see where the location's at on that item. And as long as you put that item in the location, tip. Yes, tip. Make sure that when you are listing something, you either go all the way through with it, meaning from pictures and descriptions and pricing and shipping and all that, and location, and putting it in its location. Make sure you do all of that. Or make sure that you know where you left off at. I know a lot of resellers, and I've started doing it as well, we take a lot of our pictures ahead of time, or we do our listings before we have our pictures. There are times that I will put the item in its location before I completely finish something. So I need to make sure that if I do that, I know where that location is, so when I do go back to finish that listing, I remember I already put the item there. I tend to do that when things are, I don't want to say delicate, more delicate, but I tend to do that more with things that are a little bigger, take up more space on the table, more delicate, like, it could break easily, something like that. But I have done that where I've gotten the listing almost finished but not complete, and I've needed to go back and add pictures because I use Bazaart, another great app, by the way. I pay a subscription for Bazaart, but paying that subscription allows me to take out the background on pictures, and it's like magic. And that's actually what you're paying for, is that magic button that takes out the background. And then another tip is that when you do the background and you take out the background, make sure that you grab a white background choice and put behind it. I didn't start off doing it that way. I really love Bazaart, the app, hence the reason why I paid a subscription for it. And I actually paid for a year, so I don't have to worry about keep paying for it over and over again. And I have iPhone. But I was doing it to where I would take out the background and I would center it, the item, because that's something else that Bazaart helps you with this time, to center it. But what I would not do is I would not always choose a white background. I would just use whatever white came up after removing the background. But later I found out that it wasn't as white as it could have been had I have chosen a white background after. So now I do that. But with that being said, so I will maybe do the listing, get it researched, do sell similar on somebody else's that have sold, and then change a few things on it if I need to or whatever. Add my custom SKU, again, how much I paid for it, where it's located at, and I usually do the date that I list it, because it kind of helps me to know like how long the item's been on there for. But I lost my train of thought. So with putting in the custom SKU for the location, like I was saying, you're gonna find it is so much less stress when you sell something. You're going to find that when you sell something, and you don't have to worry where did the item go, it is so much better. You're going to feel better about it, and that's going to make things a lot better for you when you go to ship the item out, because you'll know exactly where it's at. Something else, we had talked a little bit on the last video about making sure that you work on shipping. You want to have at least a little bit of a handle on knowing how to ship something. I encourage you to look for videos on YouTube, which is a plethora of knowledge from other resellers that have been doing it a long time, even longer than me, and watch their shipping videos. See how they ship something. Listen to how much they charge for shipping. Everybody has their own business model as to whether they're going to charge for shipping or not. But just like I had told you before, make sure that if you're going to go the free shipping route, that you make sure the shipping is included in your price. And make sure that that price that you're putting it at with that shipping allows for wiggle room for offers from both you and your potential buyer. Because if you put it to the lowest amount that you're willing to take and you added the shipping in there, but then all of a sudden you get an offer, or you see that eBay tells you can send an offer to somebody that's potentially interested in your item, you're going to end up going lower than what you originally wanted. And that could potentially go into your profit, because again, you're doing free shipping. Where if you don't do free shipping and you do flat rate shipping, you're going to be able to kind of play a little bit more with the amount that you're putting on there, and know that your shipping is covered because you're charging shipping. I hope that makes sense. Excuse me. Also, I would encourage you to, again, be careful with calculated shipping, because you do not know where your buyer is going to be buying from. And what will show up for you going from your state to another state could be double what somebody in the cross the country's state's going to be, like say from New York to California, because that's a different region, and that's something that you want to make sure you're careful about. My general rule is that I do a flat rate shipping for anything under a pound, and I generally make it $6. That's just the number I chose, because one, the cost of shipping keeps going up. I believe there was just another increase that we just had again. And because I am in Florida and a lot of my buyers are in California, which is a lot further away, I tend to, if something is under a pound, I just automatically put it at $6. I don't care if it's 14 ounces, if it's 6 ounces, if it's 12 ounces, 15 ounces. If it's under a pound and it's not going medium now, most of the time I'm going to put $6. Now, some people will say you're charging too much, different stuff like that. But in my experience, that since I've been doing it, I have times when I'll still end up paying a little bit more for an item for shipping, or I'll get a little bit back from the shipping. So it kind of pretty much balances out. It's just I'm balancing it out by charging more than charging less. Some people will charge less, and when they charge less, it ends up balancing out, the other way, which is great. It just depends on how you want to do your business model. But I've been doing this for a little while, and I have found that the flat rate shipping works well for me. In the same sense, if I have something that weighs 2 pounds, even I believe 2 to 3 pounds, I might even do it at 3 pounds. I can't remember if I went up. But usually if it's between 1 and 2 pounds, I charge $9, flat rate. Now again, if my buyer is in California and I'm in Florida, it might cost more than that. But at $9, I can usually, if it'll fit in a flat rate envelope, it will go for around $8. So I'm covered. And that helps with a little bit of the extra, helping with material. I use a lot of tape. In my last video, I told you that one of my tips is that I put tape on all the addresses. And that's so that when the buyer gets the item, if it went through a big rainstorm, hopefully that helped the tape being over the address of my address and their address, where it didn't get smeared and possibly the address not being seen. So having that little bit of extra cushion on the shipping portion allows me to help with the cost of material, whether it be tape, whether it be boxes that are not in my eBay, that I get every quarter. eBay, when you have a store, you get a certain dollar amount every quarter to use for shipping material that eBay gives us. So that's great, but it's only every quarter. There's times that I need labels. I run out of labels. I don't believe I can get labels through my shipping coupon with eBay. If I'm wrong, go ahead and tell me, because that's something I would like to know. Most of the time I'm ordering labels on Amazon and sometimes on eBay. I like the rounded corners personally, and I like that they're self-adhesive. It makes it so much easier. I do 2 per sheet, and I print out the label. I pull the sticker off, so to speak, with the label, and I put it on the package. And then I use tape and I put it across the address. That's how I do it. I generally, with everything, I don't care how much it costs, I will include either a personal note on a piece of paper that says thank you and Amy's Epic stuff for sale. I will put I appreciate you or you're appreciated, because I know that they can always choose another buyer because there's so many out there. So I want them to know that I care, that, you know, I appreciate that they took the time and they chose my listing over all the other listings they could have chose. So again, that's something I do. So I will, if it's an eBay purchase, I can get my thank you postcards through my coupon with eBay every quarter. If it's a Mercari or Poshmark, or usually Poshmark or Mercari, then I am obviously not using an eBay postcard. So I am using a regular thank you card, or just a note. I literally will take a Post-it note and just write on it and put it in the envelope. And most of the time that is going to help, I know it has me, to get comments from buyers when they get the item. They generally will go on and leave feedback. And no, not feedback is not everything. But it does help, because you do have those people that will look at feedback before they buy. And then you have people that really don't care about the feedback. You know, they're just going to buy it because they want it for whatever reason, or they need it. So that definitely helps with customer service and letting your buyer know that you are a small business. You know, you appreciate them taking the time to choose you. So that's another tip. Let's see, what else do I got for you? What time is it? It's getting close. So let's see, what else? When it comes to clothes items, I tend to put them in a bag. I will take a Post-it note and put the size on it. Cost of goods sometimes I'll put on it. If I did a measurement of some sort, I might put that on there, because just in case I have a buyer that doesn't look at the pictures, because I do take pictures of the measurements. I don't go crazy with measurements. It's very straightforward. I think I do from shoulder, or from armpit to armpit when it comes to a top, the front part to the bottom, and sometimes the back. And once in a while I might do just down from the shoulder. I might do that and show that. And I have a fold out wooden old hinged measuring stick, I guess you could call it, that I use. And I find that it's helpful because it's sturdy. It doesn't roll up on me like a regular measuring tape. So I could easily sell them for $15 a piece, free shipping. I have a few of them. I believe I have a few of them. But I have chosen to hold on to it because I use it for my business. So as resellers, we go out, we find treasure. It's a treasure hunt. Who doesn't like a treasure hunt? If you like garage selling and yard sales and flea markets and stuff like that, but you just tend to just go get stuff just to get it, that's one thing. But if you can go get stuff for not just personal, you know, whether it be a gift or personal for you, but also to possibly have that treasure for someone else, because remember, one man's trash is another man's treasure. You know, how many people are looking for that item that you might find that they can't find? Just because you might have a bunch of them in your area or similar or something doesn't mean that the person that is in a state 5 states, across the country, whatever it may be, across the water, that they can find it. You might be the one that finds that item for them. And basically, you finding that item brings a smile to their face because they couldn't find it. So I do hope that these little conversations that we've been having for the last couple days are interesting to you. It's something that I'm trying. I will do little splits, I guess, on TikTok, because I'm completely new to TikTok, so I apologize for anything that I'm doing incorrectly. I'll learn. I will probably add them to my YouTube channel. Amy's Epic Stuff for Sale, I believe, is my YouTube channel still. I am on Macari. I am on Poshmark. I am on eBay. And if you're looking for anything in particular, let me know. You never know. I might have it. And if I don't have it, I might know somebody that has it. I heard that there's going to be a lot of shortages this year for the holidays, and reselling online and stuff like that is going to be very busy. And so if you're local and you're looking for something, then we can do possibly a meetup. You don't have to worry about shipping. If you're not, then we'll have to do shipping. I usually put offers on everything that I put on there. Just keep in mind my time, packaging material, that type of thing. When you send me an offer, make sure, it's not a crazy offer. And I will either counter you or accept it. And most resellers are about the same. So I hope this was helpful. Hope everyone